David Guetta. I'm a DJ, I'm a producer. I've been DJing here in Ibiza for 23 years now. I'm very attached to Ibiza because the musical history, the culture that there is here. By becoming bigger and bigger of a DJ, I'm doing bigger and bigger shows. And this is, in a strange way, kind of taking me away from DJing to get into entertaining. When you perform in a festival for like 50,000 people, everything needs to be like super perfect, super tight. So there's not so much room for improvisation. Whereas when I play here, it's really back to the original DJing, and this is something that I love. Getting to the club, not knowing exactly what I'm gonna play, testing records, trying new sounds. So sometimes I would make a beat here and play it on the same night, see the reaction. This is really unique. There's been different generations of artists that inspired me, and I started to listen to funk when I was a teenager, and then I was playing funk, disco. Later I played hip hop, and then later I played house. People like James Brown or Michael Jackson or Prince, that inspired me, and they still do. Also later, people like Frankie Knuckles or David Morales and Eric Murillo, Masters at Work, all those people that inspired me, and they gave me motivation to become a producer and make house music. And then later, some other young producers. And actually, usually what I do, I listen to some really old songs, and usually that's what inspires me to, let's say, create the song itself. And production wise, some of the underground sounds that are not really big yet, and my thing was always to combine this like a super fresh production, like the sound of tomorrow, with some songs that are timeless. So combining something that is, let's say, the sound of the future, but making it in a way that it can touch more people, because you're making a real chord progression that is emotional, because you're making a song with lyrics that can touch people's heart. That's been kind of my recipe for 20 years. I think what's a good quality in a producer is to know what you're good at and be able to surround yourself with people that can complete you. And this is at least what I do. And for example, I'm not a good songwriter, so I have people to write lyrics. But what I'm good at, I don't know, like if I hear 10 different melodies, I can tell you like this is the one. I think that's a skill, and of course I can play, but it's not what I'm the best at. And this is why I'm a DJ. I'm not like not doing concerts like playing the piano in front of thousands of people. I wouldn't be able to do that. I discovered Genelec with a friend of mine. His name is Toca Disco, and it was in 2008, I think. And I went to his studio to work with him, and I was like, wow, this sounds amazing, and also he explained me about, at this time, there was a system with a microphone that you could adapt the speakers to your room. I didn't know about this we're talking about years ago, so this sounded like super mega professional, but still affordable. Well, finally I got those, a few years later, and I'm super happy with it. When producing, I'm not really playing too loud, and those speakers, even though they are huge, they're still very precise even when they're not loud. And to me, this is really important. The new subs, they're insane, and I just got them. I'm so excited about it, because again, in the previous system that I had, the subs were so loud, they were not really realistic. So if I would mix with those subs on, sometimes I would end up having a record that doesn't have enough bass because in my room the bass was so huge, you know. So this I've experienced it to make a beat here and then play it on the same night in the club, and it was really the way I did it in the studio, you know. So this is super important for me. And yes, and if I want to blast it loud, and it's powerful enough to feel like it's in the club. Yeah, Genelec is probably my favorite system. I'm working in different studios around the world, but when I'm home, like this is my favorite system, and this is what I have at home. This is my kind of my reference. So this is the perfect setup. In the last month, I've been working on this new sound that I'm really excited about. I'm doing this together with a friend of mine. His name is Morten. It's really, I feel really unique. It's hard for a producer to find something completely new that doesn't exist because so much has been done. And right now, it's a little bit like there's a gap for DJs because basically what's really hot right now is underground, but the energy is not enough for big festivals. And the alternative to that is to play EDM, and then it sounds like 4 years ago. And there's really like a problem of finding a sound that has, let's say, the energy of EDM, but with a cool factor of the underground. And I feel like we kind of nailed it. So right now I'm focusing on this, and this is what I'm going to do in the next month. And then, you know, I also have to go back to making a big pop record for radio. That's what I'm going to do right after. Everybody jump!